Before the neon lights, the movie cameras, and the endless freeways, there was silence. The whisper of wind over the dry hills, the shimmer of heat across a vast and lonely plain. Long before Los Angeles became a symbol of dreams and fame, it was home to the Tongva people, the original inhabitants of this land. For thousands of years, they lived in harmony with nature, fishing from the rivers, gathering acorns in the hills, and calling this place Yang Na, the place of the poison oak. In 1769, Spanish explorers led by Gaspar de Portola arrived in California, claiming the region for Spain. A few years later, Father Junipero Serra and the Franciscan missionaries began building missions to spread Christianity across what they called Alta California. Then in 1781, a group of 44 settlers, a mix of Spanish, indigenous, and African ancestry, founded a small pueblo beside the Los Angeles River. They called it El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Ángeles de Porciúncula, the town of Our Lady, the Queen of Angels. It was little more than a cluster of adobe huts surrounded by wilderness. But even then, the seeds of something bigger were planted. For decades, the pueblo remained a quiet agricultural town under Spanish and later Mexican rule after 1821. Ranchers raised cattle across rolling plains. Vaqueros, Mexican cowboys, rode across the land. The economy thrived on hides and tallow, shipped out by dusty trails to the coast. Then, in 1846, everything changed. The Mexican-American War erupted, and within 2 years, California became part of the United States. Los Angeles was now an American town, though still small, isolated, and largely Hispanic. By 1850, it had just over 1,600 residents, but it was growing. The gold rush drew people westward, and the railroads followed. Yet Los Angeles remained rough, dusty, and dangerous. Murders and duels were common. One traveler in the 1850s described it as a wild and lawless place. But under that rough surface, something powerful was beginning. The land was fertile. The sun never seemed to set, and the promise of endless opportunity attracted dreamers. By the 1870s, the arrival of the Southern Pacific Railroad changed everything. Suddenly, Los Angeles was connected to the rest of America. Citrus orchards bloomed across the valleys, and marketing campaigns painted LA as a paradise, the land where it was always spring. The population exploded. Between 1880 and 1900, Los Angeles grew tenfold. The small pueblo became a bustling American city. Then came the discovery that would transform it forever: oil. In 1892, Edward Doheny struck oil near downtown Los Angeles. The city erupted in an oil boom. By the early 1900s, LA was producing more oil than any other place on Earth. Wells dotted the landscape, even pumping beside homes and churches. Fortune and ambition poured in like black gold. But something else was rising too, a new industry that would change the world: movies. It began modestly around 1910, when independent filmmakers fled New York to escape Thomas Edison's patent control. They came west, to the sunny valleys and open land near a small farming village called Hollywood. There, under endless sunshine and mountains that could double for anywhere in the world, they began to film. Silent pictures, westerns, comedies, cheap to make, but magical to audiences. By the 1920s, Hollywood was the global capital of film. Studios like Paramount, Warner Bros., MGM, and Universal ruled the industry. Stars like Charlie Chaplin, Clara Bow, and Rudolph Valentino became legends. Los Angeles had found its identity, the city of illusion, the factory of dreams. Then came the 1930s. The Great Depression hit hard, but Hollywood gave people escape. Musicals, glamorous stars, and adventure films carried the world through its darkest years. Meanwhile, the city itself was transforming. Skyscrapers rose downtown, cars replaced horses, the freeways began to take shape. And then, water, the most precious resource, was conquered. The Los Angeles Aqueduct, completed in 1913 under William Mulholland, brought water from the Owens Valley hundreds of miles away. It was one of the greatest engineering feats of its time, and one of the most controversial. Without it, Los Angeles would have withered. With it, the city exploded. By 1940, Los Angeles had over 1.5 million people. The Second World War accelerated that growth. Aircraft factories like Lockheed and Douglas hired tens of thousands, and LA became a powerhouse of industry. After the war, the soldiers came home, and they stayed. Suburbs spread across the valleys. Highways stretched like veins through the basin. The dream of the California lifestyle, sunshine, cars, beaches, and freedom, became real. The 1950s and 60s were the golden years of Los Angeles. Hollywood dazzled the world. The music scene exploded from surf rock to the Beach Boys. Disneyland opened its gates in nearby Anaheim in 1955, offering families a vision of pure joy. But not everything was golden. Beneath the glamour, racial tension, inequality, and poverty simmered. In 1965, the Watts riots erupted after years of frustration and injustice. The world saw a city divided, paradise for some, struggle for others. Yet Los Angeles endured, reinventing itself again. The 1970s brought new waves of immigration from Mexico, Korea, the Philippines, and Central America, reshaping LA into one of the most diverse cities on Earth. By the 1980s, the city pulsed with energy. Hollywood entered a new golden age. Blockbusters, rock music, skate culture, and a rising hip-hop scene from South Central. LA was now not just a city, it was a global brand. But history tested it again. The 1992 Los Angeles riots, following the Rodney King verdict, exposed deep wounds that had never fully healed. Fires burned again, and the world watched in disbelief. From those ashes, though, came reflection and renewal. Los Angeles began to heal slowly through unity, creativity, and reinvention. The 2000s brought new challenges: congestion, housing crises, wildfires, and climate threats. Yet the city adapted. Clean energy, tech startups, and entertainment fused into a new economy. Today, Los Angeles is one of the most influential cities on Earth. It is home to over 10 million people, speaking more than 200 languages. It is where cultures collide, art thrives, and dreams are born. Every single day, from the skyscrapers of downtown to the palm-lined streets of Beverly Hills, from the grit of East LA to the calm of Malibu's beaches, Los Angeles is both heaven and chaos, a place where the impossible becomes possible. It's a city built on contradiction, drought and ocean, luxury and struggle, fantasy and reality. But above all, it's built on hope. Los Angeles has burned, rebuilt, and reinvented itself countless times, yet it never loses its magnetism. Every dreamer who drives west, chasing a vision of something better, becomes part of its story. From the Pueblo of 1781 to the global stage of today, this is Los Angeles, a city without limits, a story without end, and the eternal city of dreams.